Thanks indeed.
Well, Vernon, thank you very much for that. Let me assure you that all of us in this hall share the aspiration of your leader, Ed Miliband, and your own aspiration to see the Labour Party back in government in Britain again, and the sooner the better. And also to wish you all the very best in your own role as Shadow Secretary of State in Northern Ireland. It's an important role, and continuing success to you in that role. Thank you. And now we move on to the business of the evening. We're on the section headed Bringing Stability to Our Economy. Brendan Howlin, TD, Minister for Public Expenditure and Reform, to introduce the session and propose Motion 64 in the name of the Central Council.
Thank you, Chair. I propose 64 in the name of the Central Council. Delegates, Rory Quinn, as Ireland's first Finance Minister, bequeathed Fianna Fáil a productive and competitive economy in 1997. Over 14 years, Fianna Fáil ruined our economy. They brought our state to the brink of annihilation. They impoverished future generations. They handed our destiny over to the Troika. It will, unfortunately, take this government more than 14 months to put this right. But put it right we will. We've made a start. The terms of our agreement with the Troika have been renegotiated, and that renegotiation is ongoing. The interest rates on our loans are down to the tune of 10 billion euros. The banks have been recapitalised at just over half the cost estimated by the Troika. We didn't pay the 3 billion cash payment due on the promissory note last month. The minimum wage cut has been reversed, and the economy is back in growth. The public finances and the live register figures have stabilised. Last year's Jobs Initiative provided a stimulus to key services like tourism. This year's action plan on jobs will focus on all the state's agencies on our number one priority as a government: jobs, getting people back to work. People sometimes say to me, why did Labour take on the challenge, enormous and daunting as it is? I say in response, how could we not face it? Our people have endured hardship over the last 4 years, but have responded courageously. We have restored our competitiveness. We are paying our way in the world. We have borne the burden of additional taxation at all levels in our society. Both the OECD and the European Commission cite our taxation changes as progressive. We are acutely aware of the need for fair and progressive taxation. The removal of the 330,000 people, lower-paid workers from the universal social charge is proof of that. I would ask conference to afford us the space, and the movers of many motions in relation to higher rates of tax. We accept the principle, but let us negotiate with our government partners by referring those particular motions, and I'll talk to them at the end of the debate, back to the Executive Board so that we can get the best deal possible. Over the last year, we've brought stability. The year ahead of us is about growing our economy. The facts are stark and simple. We have an unaffordable deficit that we have to close. Budget stimulus has been denied to us by Fianna Fáil incompetence. We cannot finance the deficit from domestic resources. The hardships that would cause would put the last 4 years of hardship into the halfpenny place, because we remain dependent on Troika borrowing. But we do need to get the domestic economy moving again. To do this, we must create off-balance sheet generations of money. And I am in agreement with the movers of motions who focus on stimulus. And Michael Noonan is in agreement with this principle too. The trade unions are right. 70 billion in pension funds unavailable to the Irish economy is no good for Irish workers. We need and will do our best to change that. So I can confirm to conference that the government is in negotiations with the pension funds right up to last week to get them to invest more in Ireland. And I confirm that we will consider an offset against the pension levy, if that is appropriate, to get access to that money. In the same vein, the government is prepared to leverage the assets of the National Pension Reserve Fund to create jobs in this country. We are entering the next phase of our recovery. The path ahead remains a difficult one, but the people of Ireland are no fools. They know that there are no simplistic solutions to the daunting challenges we face. They have given this government and this party the greatest challenge in this country's history. We need to prove that we are worthy of their trust.